Hello, hi, and welcome to the BlueNote Fan Report. Second intermission. Well, power play comes through. Thomas, Bushnevich, and Terashenko go streaking. The NHL just put out. I forgot to send the link. Hold on. NHL just put out a tweet, and they talked about Thomas streaking, and there we go. There's a link. Sometimes just too many things going on. Thomas, there's only two players in Blues history that have had longer streaks. One of them was Brett Hull, and let me see if I can remember who the other one was. Give me a second. And Wendy's showing me the uniform thing, so I got to look at that here in a second. He's right that at 16, the end of 16, 15, 16 was the last season that they wore the arch. Here we go. Public relations. Robert Thomas extended his point streak to 15 games. Only two St. Louis Blues skaters have posted longer runs. Brett Hull, 25 games in 91-92. That was when he was putting up all them goals in 20 games in 89-90. And then Blake Dunlop in 81-82 with 19 games played. Wow. Go Thomas. Can he get to the 20? Right? I hope so.
What was that question?
Can Thomas get to 20 games? That would be, 19 would be the next mark. So the record is 25, and that's by Hull.
Mm-hmm.
And then next is 20 by Hull. And then 19 by Blake Dunlop from the 81-82 Blues. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Wendy White says I have to stream the game, so it's just me or the Sharks fan base totally silent. Oh, they're silent. They're not cheering, right? Just the Blues fans that are there. They're the only ones cheering.
Uh-huh.
I said especially Thomas on the point streak, and he answered. I did.
And actually,
in the power play today, Krug is a big piece. He is a big piece, but I'm not disappointed in him. I think they've gotten good shots. I think they've gotten good looks.
Good cycles.
I think they're doing the things that they need to do. Right? You with us, Lance?
Yep.
Okay. Well, you were being quiet there, so I wasn't sure. Hard when we can't see you, so I don't get to see your face expressions on that. But hey, no, I get it. You're fine. When Twerp comes back, who's out? Brown?
Joshua.
I would think so. Right? I would kind of think so. I don't like Brown. I like Brown. I think Brown gives them an option next season that they didn't have, and they give him a big kid that's got some speed, that can hit. I know people say he's slow. I don't think he is.
I don't know if he can crack this lineup and permanently and play 70, 80 games for the Blues. Somebody was saying the other night that he needs to use his size and weight. He's skinny. He's a skinny 6'6". He is not a big 6'6". He's lanky.
Yeah.
He reminds me of Tage Thompson with the way he's built. But he does have that edge that Tage Thompson does not have.
Yeah.
You know what, though? Hey, isn't it a good problem when you're saying, man, this is a good young player, and I don't know if he can crack this lineup? That is a good problem to have.
Oh, no, it's a great problem to have. Right now, he is the 17th guy.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
What is it? 4, 3, 6, 9, 12. He's the 13th guy. Right. He's the 13th guy. He's that extra forward. And look, I know that Ottawa gave up on him too soon. Right?
I think they did.
You know what Ottawa ended up getting for him? You'll be amazed to understand when you realize what they got for him.
It wasn't much because Sanford's gone now.
It was a 5th round pick.
Yeah.
Right? Because they traded Sanford for a 5th round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We got a steal.
Yep.
I think we got a steal. Right? Okay, we didn't get the 4th round pick. We lost our 4th round pick.
Yep.
Okay, no big deal.
No.
Bozak in the playoffs. That's going to be an interesting one. That's going to be really interesting.
It's going to be really interesting because look at his age, number one. It's going to take him a little bit to come back and get back into the swing of things. And how quickly does he get back into the swing of things? And it's going to be a tough decision for Berube and his assistant coaches to try to come up and decide. Is he going to be on the playoff roster for that first round? And that's a tough decision, because if you've noticed, he's not been, and I know he's been hurt, but he's not been as efficient and effective on the faceoff circle that he has been in the last few years.
Yeah. I see him being on the 23-man roster, right? I really do, right? We haven't, honestly, we barely carried a 23-man roster this season, right? From the majority, we've only had 22 guys, 21 or 22 guys on the roster. Very rarely have we had 3 guys scratched, right? If they're scratched, we've had injuries that have brought more guys up, but have an active 23-man roster, we barely had it. So does he make the 23-man roster? Well, right now, so who do you have coming back? You only have 2 guys coming back. I don't think anybody's sitting right now, right? Other than Krug, I don't think any other forwards are sitting. So, yeah, I could see him being on that 23-man roster.
And,
right?
and here's another question. If he's on that 23-man roster, how much do you play him? Because if he goes out there and he's losing faceoffs, which is one of the reasons why the Blues, what I was told, is one of the main reasons why they even brought him back, is because they have confidence in him as a fourth line center, and he's great on the faceoff circle. If he's not doing that, how valuable is Tyler Bozak at his age to this team? I don't think he's that valuable unless he's really playing that fourth line center and getting some good minutes and winning a lot of faceoffs. Because he's not going to score a lot of goals. He's never been that guy to score a lot of goals. He's never scored a lot of goals in his career.
Yeah. Well, okay. First of all, Dale says Bozak sucks. He's my Scandella. Ashley, that's for you. And E's calling me out, and that's fine. Wait a minute, guy. You said previously that the 4th round for Brown was big because of the draft class. Oh, it is. And but circumstances cause us to give it up. Okay? You give it up. There's other ways to get a 4th round if you need it. And you look at what Ottawa ended up getting is just a 5th round pick this season for Brown. I mean, the fact that they don't have to give up the 4th round pick, okay, I get it, but it's 6 of one, half dozen the other. Rosen looks great. I wish he played. It's not going to happen.
Nope.
It's not going to happen, and you guys can wish it all you want. And you know what? I'll be honest. If I was the coach of the team, there's no way I could sit Scandella for Rosen.
Nope.
I couldn't.
Nope.
I think overall, I know you guys with Scandella is like last season with Thomas.
I was never hard on Thomas.
Or not Thomas, Sanford, right? Everything Sanford did was magnified.
That's because he did when he made mistakes, they were huge mistakes.
Yeah.
And here's
they got magnified.
Yeah, when you go into the playoffs, I don't care if you've got a defenseman that's not at his best, but he has years experience in the NHL. I don't know of too many coaches that are going to choose a young guy with no playoff experience over a guy like Scandella,
Rosen has playoff experience,
regardless of his mistakes.
Rosen played in the playoffs against Colorado.
Yeah, well,
he didn't play that much. Ashley. It's not like I said years of experience.
Yeah, he's only got so his experience in the playoffs is getting swept by a big, stronger team.
Bigger, stronger play that team. Many minutes,
right? Yeah. No, I'll be honest. I like this team. I like what they're doing. I'm okay with tonight's game. I'm looking at this game going so hum, but that's okay. I don't want anybody hurt. I want to win games. I want to get points, and that's it. But I want them to. And there was a comment earlier. I think it was Nichols. I know I speak of practicing a lot. I see the Blues fine-tuning this juggernaut, and even without the shots, no one wants to give this Blues team a power play come playoff time. I think that's a hell of a point, right? I really do, and I think everyone knows how important 5-on-5 is in the playoffs, but just as important as 5-on-5 is, you can win or lose games on special teams. And if this special teams can, and there's a big if, can continue into the playoffs, this team can be something special, right?
Well,
If
I don't
you
know if
can-
you saw it. I don't know if you saw it today. It was called Cup or Cap on Sportsnet, and it had Steve Weeks and AJ Reddick and
Mhm.
another guy on there picking their teams. They went over some of the top teams and talked about, are they cup worthy? Are they cap, which means no, they're just pretenders, which is a new saying from kids. I didn't know that, but the first team they talked about were the Blues, and they said that they were cup worthy if they keep putting these points up. Now they had Vil Huso being the number one starter in the playoffs, and I'm sorry, I think Berube is going to sink or swim with who he decides to put in net in the playoffs.
I got to be honest. I've given this a lot of thought. I have no problem starting Huso in the playoffs.
I do.
Hold on, Lance. I know you do. You gotta hear me out. Give me a chance, bud. Right? You respect my opinion, right?
Only on Thursday nights. Heck, it's Thursday night. You picked a good night. No.
Oh my goodness. There you go. That's what makes this fofo so fun. So Huso has had a very good season. Does he have playoff experience? No, he doesn't. But at the same time, neither did Bennington at the time. Huso, the team believes in Huso. And I think they believe in Bennington too. But what's going to tell it for me is going to be down this stretch, right? Huso's getting some rest. Bennington's getting some playing time. The last game Huso played in was a loss. Was it a bad loss? No, it wasn't, right? The team did not play as well as it should have. They didn't get the goal. If they get the offense plays the way it's supposed to and gets 4 goals, they win that game. Plain and simple. However, he did not play bad. He recovered from some earlier decisions, earlier bad games. I'm okay with that. I think playing Minnesota, both of these goalies know what they need to do. However, I wouldn't give them 2 losses. I would give them 1, right? And I know usually swapping goalies doesn't work. However, I think you have a very strong 1A, 1B situation here where it could work in the playoffs if things are, if you balance things out and you look at everything as a whole and you look at the undercurrent of the game. There are games where I think Huso is going to be the better player, and there's games where I think Bennington could be the better goalie. And it's all going to depend on that. What should Huso be honest? Many will probably swap. I think many will have to swap, right? I really do. And could that hurt him? Could it help? I don't know.
I just want to ask one question. When was the last time somebody won a Stanley Cup championship swapping goalies every other game or every 2 games in a long Stanley Cup 7-game series?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I can't think of any guy, and I've been watching the game since I was 4 or 5 years old when I lived in California, and I really can't think of anybody.
I get that. I really do. However, you've got to – I want to make sure that we don't get behind early, right? I don't want to go down 0-2 going into mini. You got to be at the bare minimum 1-1 going into mini or 1-1 coming back.
I don't want to be down going 0-2 going into St. Louis.
Oh, I don't want to be 0-2 going – I don't either, right? I want to be 1-1 coming back to St. Louis or 2-0.
Yep.
The last thing I want to be is the O's, right? The last thing I want to be is in the O's.
Can I say one thing real quick that we haven't touched on?
Yeah.
And I want to see what Ashley thinks of this. And you too, Guy. I mean, we're seeing the maturation or the maturation, as some people say, but the maturation of Robert Thomas before our eyes. For years, Blues fans have wanted to give up on him. They wanted to ship him somewhere and bring in a veteran by trading him. Guys, he's legit. And when he was drafted and that first year he came out and played a little bit, I told people he is the real deal. In 2 to 3 years, can you imagine? He's going to be a 90-point, 100-point guy in 2 to 3 years. And maybe, just maybe, as soon as next year. I can't say enough about Robert Thomas. I mean, guys, am I wrong?
No, you're not. I mean, he has just been absolutely phenomenal this season. He showed glimmers of it last season, but was injured for a huge chunk of the season. Yeah. So I think that this season he's really showing us what he's got.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where I am. I think he's a 100-point guy next year, or a 90-point guy. I think he's a 90-point guy next year.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Absolutely. I could actually see him being a 100 assist guy one season. Like he's that good.
No, I could see that too, but he's also got a scorer's touch.
Yeah.
I think you are seeing him. He is eclipsing Kyrou. However, I think he's eclipsing Kyrou because Kyrou just his body's giving out on him.
and it's in Kyrou's head too with Berube and the defense and offense.
Yep.
And
So
if you watch Thomas,
Kyrou's going to need a strong offseason. I agree with that. By
And
the way, Ian, it is 2-1 Blues.
Yep. If you go to last year and even the beginning of this year with Robert Thomas, some of those plays, and we've talked about it up until last year, we all talked about it, he would skate too much instead of passing the puck and make a pass when he needed to make it. And this year, if you've watched him, he's much more controlled. He's much more fluid. He's much more confident and knows what he wants to do with that puck guy.
Would I get a promotion check from you if I held up a sign with Hawaii Blues fan when I can't pass this? You know what, Ryan? You know, if I was working and had money to give, I would absolutely do that. But if you held up a sign that said BlueNote Fan Report, I love it. I'd appreciate it. I'd hope
Ryan,
be able to get
Ryan, he could give you a check, but he can't guarantee it wouldn't bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You know, if you held up, you know, something that said stlfanreport.com or Blue Note Fan Report on
awesome.
YouTube, I would absolutely, you know, be ecstatic and say thank you. But I think the Ducks don't allow signs.
Yeah, I think you're right. There are a couple of them out there that will not let you bring even a small sign in.
Yeah. Because you'll see people that like they've written something on paper.
Yep.
I know the Blues will allow signs. I've had signs in, and and there's times where they have stuff out for you to go write a sign, make a sign.
Yeah.
So there are those opportunities. Well, we're just about up. It's almost game time. OZ possession. Blues have had it 6:41. The Sharks 2:11, and that's the game right there. Right. I hope to see you guys all at the post game. It'll probably be a truncated post game because I know it's late in St. Louis. We'll probably only go about 30 minutes, and unless we have a large portion, and I'll let the other two guys go, and I'll do it. So, guys, let's see what happens at this one. Does the point streak continue? And that's the question. Does the point streak continue? Thomas Buchnevich and Tarasenko extended theirs. Can the Blues? This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, for Ashley and Lance saying aloha mahalo, and we'll see you at the post-game show.